The moment my husband inherited billions, he threw me out of the house. He thought he had won, but a hidden clause in that very will froze his entire fortune in a single day. The day the lawyer told us that David had inherited billions, that same evening he placed my suitcase near the stairs. I was still standing there holding that same blue envelope in my hand when he said in a completely plain tone, "Katie, this house is mine now. I want you to leave today." There was no hesitation in his voice, just a strange kind of pride, as if he had won some sort of war. I thought maybe it was a joke, but he opened the door. The cold December wind came inside and I understood he was serious. We lived in a regular suburb in Ohio. A 3-bedroom house with half the mortgage still left. Last year I lost my nursing job when the hospital downsized. Medical bills, credit card debt, and David's small construction business, never able to recover after COVID, kept both of us under pressure. But that day when his wealthy Uncle Richard's will was read and it turned out the entire company, the shares and the cash trust were all in David's name, he changed. As if some old, selfish version of him had suddenly stepped out. I asked, "What is all this?" "We made it through things together." He laughed. "You made it through? Katie, you were a burden. And now I don't need any burdens." That sentence hit right in the chest. 15 years of marriage, slow years, hard years, every scraped-together month. Wiped out with one word: burden. I sat in my old Toyota and drove to my friend Maya's apartment. She didn't have much space either, but she made a spot for me on her couch. That night, staring at the ceiling, I kept wondering whether I truly was just an obstacle, or whether money had simply cracked open who David had always been underneath. The next week, David sent me divorce papers. He froze our joint accounts, canceled the car insurance, even shut off my phone plan. I took a part-time job at a grocery store just to cover basic expenses. Days were spent stocking shelves, nights applying online for nursing work. My routine was small, my world quiet, but something inside me was hardening. Not anger, just a quiet, steady resolve. Then came the phone call that changed everything. Uncle Richard's old attorney, Mr. Hendricks, asked to meet with me. I couldn't imagine why. His office was small, filled with dark wooden furniture and old family photographs. He went straight to the point. "Did you know Mr. Richard placed a special clause in his will?" I shook my head. He continued, "David received everything through a family trust. But the condition is that he must maintain his marriage with his legal wife and must not evict her or cause her financial harm. If he does, the trust is immediately frozen, and all assets transfer to a charitable foundation." My fingers went cold. But he already kicked me out. Mr. Hendricks gently closed the file. "That's why we needed your confirmation." When I walked outside for the first time in weeks, the cold didn't sting. I didn't scream or celebrate or call anyone. I simply sat in my car and let myself breathe, a long, releasing breath. The next day, the trust board froze all of David's accounts and the company funds. The luxury car he was about to buy? Deal canceled. His business partners stopped taking his calls. News spreads fast in small towns, faster when money is involved. He called me, panic sharp in his voice. "Katie, what did you do?" I answered calmly, "I didn't do anything, David." "You did." He begged, said we could work things out, said everything could go back to normal. But none of his words had love in them, only fear. I hung up. A few days later he asked me to return home so he could restore the marriage, but by then I had already signed the divorce papers. According to the trust terms, since he had evicted me first and caused financial harm, the trust remained permanently frozen. Most of the assets were transferred to the foundation. All he had left were his personal savings, nowhere near the fortune he imagined. I didn't get billions. I didn't become wealthy. But I became free. I reinstated my nursing license, took night shifts and rented a small townhouse with Maya. A sweet, elderly woman from the community church gave me used but solid furniture. My brother, who I hadn't spoken to in years, showed up unexpectedly to help me move. Life has its own small miracles. Not the kind with fireworks, just quiet human ones. One evening, standing in my new kitchen while my cheap coffee maker rattled on the counter, I found myself thinking about what real wealth is. David thought billions would make him a winner. But he drowned in his own greed. I didn't steal anything from him. I simply didn't hide the truth. I still pay bills. Sometimes my paycheck comes up short. But each morning when I look in the mirror, I see someone I recognize. I'm not a burden. I am the woman who watched a door slam shut and chose to open a window herself. The last time I saw David was at a gas station. He didn't look like the man I had married, or the man who kicked me out. His eyes held the same question that had once haunted me. Can everything really change in a single moment? I simply nodded and walked to my car. Life isn't a movie. There's no dramatic music playing in the background. There are only choices, and their consequences. The day he placed my suitcase at the door, he believed he had won. He thought money had crowned him king of something. But real victory came the day I stood back up. Without billions, without him, relying on nothing but my own strength. And that was enough. If you connected with this story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these real-life stories reach more people who might need them. Thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in the next episode.